Hi students, welcome to Super Grats. I am your English mentor Sana Jaffrey and I welcome you to this very nice series Word Power Made Easy. Now this series is going strong. We have covered numerous sessions by far and if you've missed any of them, you've got to catch up with them, right? And today I am taking up how to flatter your friends. This is part 2. I will be covering up session 35 to 37. So in my previous session, I had taken up session number 32 to 34, something like that. And here I am with the next one. So if not seen those, you should see them. Anyway, आप independently भी देख सकते हो. That's also absolutely fine. All right. So here we have some very nice etymology that has been shared with us in these chapters, right? The first one in the row is a very useful and commonly seen root word, specto. Fine. Now there might be a number of words here which you feel that you already know. हमको तो सारे वर्ड्स पता है तो मैडम हमको ये क्यों बता रही हैं? आई एम श्योर कुछ वर्ड्स होंगे जो आपको नहीं पता है, right? And it becomes all the more easy for us when we try to study a root that what are all the words that come from that. Fine. That makes relating to those words easy and the process of learning some new words easier. ठीक है? So we begin with this. Specto means look, right? So when we say inspect, in, and look. Specto means look. So inspect is to look inside. You investigate, you scrutinize, you examine something. That is to inspect, right? Retrospect. Can you see retro here? Retro means back. So what is to retrospect? I say in retrospect, I think I overreacted. I shouldn't have done it that way. So retrospect is when you look back, okay? And you think about what all you did, what all happened. That's retrospection. So you are actually analyzing things, especially your actions in the past events. पीछे जाके देखना और study करना. That's retrospect. Now spectacle. Now your spectacle is a grand view, something that you must look at, right? The spectacle, grand spectacle of Republic Day parade. What a spectacle it is. And इसी से बना हमारा word spectacular. So when we say something is spectacular, this is a C. It is amazing. It is worth watching. It's a view to behold, right? Spectacular achievement, spectacular performance, spectacular journey. Okay. Very interestingly, even the word spectacles or specs, as we say, right? Chishme, right? An instrument through which you can see. That also comes from the same root, specto. So I hope you will not get confused between a spectacle and spectacles. Spectacles to आपके specs होते हैं, right? Your glasses. But spectacle means something that is a nice view. Spectator, somebody who looks at it, right? Spectators in a cricket match. The audience, fine. I hope you know that. अच्छा, दो बार आ गया spectator. Prospect. Prospect is actually to look ahead. To look ahead. So when you're prospecting, you are thinking, you're looking ahead, what is going to work for me? What are my future prospects? Very common word, you might be knowing that. And even the word prospective comes from it. So for example, I say, he is a prospective buyer or a prospective client. So he's not currently my client. He's not currently my client, but as I look ahead, I think he can be my client. Fine, he's interested in this business. So probably we can do business together sometime ahead. Fine, so that's the meaning of prospective. One very important word that comes from this root is specto, is circumspect. What do you mean by circumspect? See, I think I've told you already that circum refers to anything that is round or it's related to circle. or 360 degree. Fine. And spect is to look. So circumspect means to look at 360 degree. I mean, look around, check, be cautious. So if I say that you have to be circumspect, you have to be very careful, you have to investigate things, you have to look around, look all around and check and then take an action. That is to circumspect, right? So to circumspect is being very cautious or being very wary. You're being very careful, you look around and only then you take any action. तो देखिए इतनी सिंपल सी रूट से आपने कितने सारे अच्छे अच्छे वर्ड सीख लिए. Isn't that great? I hope this is all fine. Let's steer ahead. Now this is something nice. You get a host of new words through this route, animus or anima. So very interestingly, these both are very related roots. So I'm going to make your task easier in a while. But as of now, let's try to understand them separately. Animus refers to mind. And anima refers to life, soul. Fine? Spirit also. So I would make your task easy. You simply take the root to be anim and this is just for you to remember so that you can remember it easier. Anim, and the meaning would be mind, spirit or soul, whatever. That's it. Remember this and life is going to be easy. Magnanimous, I think I told you beforehand in my previous sessions, comes from one root, anim, and magni. So I think you already know magni. Magni means large, as in magnify, magnitude. Fine. And anim is a spirit or soul. So anyone who is magnanimous is a very large-hearted, large-spirited person. A person who is very generous, is a very caring and a sharing kind of a person. Fine, doesn't hold grudges. We have already discussed this word. Animated is lively, full of life, okay? Lively, spirited, full of spirit. In fact, even the word animation comes from this. Animate, animation, animal, all these words come from this root. I've not enlisted them because they're very, very easy. Look at the word inanimate, something which is not a living being. Inanimate, which doesn't have life. Something which is dull can also be called inanimate. Okay? Pusillanimous. Actually, pusillanimous means tiny. So this translates to tiny souls. Now, what does this mean? People who are very tiny and petty souls and who get really scared easily and they are nervous, they are timid, they are craven. Fine, थोड़े timid टाइप के होते हैं, थोड़े डरपोक टाइप के होते हैं, हिम्मत नहीं दिखाते, courage नहीं दिखाते, बड़े छोटे दिल के लोग होते हैं. Pusillanimous. Unanimous is another nice one. What is unanimous? Comes from the root uni. And uni means one. I think everybody knows that. And anim to aapko pata hi hai, right? So it means one mind or one spirit. So जब आपका एक माइंड है, मतलब आप एक मत होकर कोई चीज करते हो. You all are one-minded, you all agree, you all are in agreement. That is when you are unanimous. Fine. So I can say the class unanimously decided to go out for a picnic. Or maybe the students unanimously decided to bunk the class. Fine. So that's a unanimous decision. I hope this much is clear. Equanimity. Class, I would request you to jot down all these roots. Fine. If you become a passive viewer, I don't think this is going to help you enough. So you have to keep a record of all the roots and words that we learn. Can I rub this? I hope you have taken at least a screenshot. Fine. Equanimous comes from the root equi, which means equal, and anim, which means mind or spirit. So, equanimous actually means equal mind. Somebody who is very even-tempered, who is calm and composed. Literally, it means an equal mind or an equal spirit, but actually means a balanced mind and spirit. Someone who has all the balance in his emotions is equanimous. The noun form is equanimity, equanimous is the adjective, right? So somebody who is equable or even-tempered, as we say, or calm and composed, is going to be equanimous. What is animus? Animosity पहले करते हैं. Animosity is hostility. We all know, I guess. Ill will, negative feelings for someone, antipathy for someone. When your soul and your spirit just doesn't come together. जब आपका किसी से दिल नहीं मिलता, दिमाग नहीं मिलता, आपकी frequency match नहीं होती है, that is when you have animosity for the person, right? You don't like the person, you are against them all the time. There is a kind of friction between you, and all kinds of negative feelings and ill will and malice harbors in your mind. This is your animosity. Coming to animus, class animus जो होता है ना, it's the same as animosity. So it's a synonym. ठीक है? So animus originally तो simply meant, spirit, but then it degenerated to, when your spirit doesn't match with the person and you are always against them. So a feeling of ill will, a negative feeling, किसी के लिए खराब मन होना, negative feelings होना, नफरत होना is animus, and the same is animosity. Wasn't this a magical root? I'm sure you've learned so many words. Let's continue. A few more coming your way. We had done the word urbane in my previous session. Urbane is, of course, being very sophisticated, being refined, possessing the city-like sophistication or smartness, right? City-like charm, being very elite, as if you can carry any situation with poise and elan, right? That's the meaning of the word urbane. And the root is urb, which means city. How simple. Urban, we all know, urban landscapes, urban development, urban areas, urban lifestyle. All these words, urban refers to anything which is related to the city. What is suburb? Now, can you see a prefix here? Sub. Sub means under. So suburbs are actually smaller areas which are sprawling under a city. Now, what do I mean by under a city? इस city की छत्र छाया में फैल रहे होते हैं. Actually, they are the outskirts of a city. So obviously, these are the areas which are less expensive and less crowded than what big cities are. But then they are fast developing, okay, very quickly developing and have good enough amenities and facilities. Whereas exurb is an area which people don't really talk about and they don't even know. Ex means out. है ना? So these are the places which are out of the city. जो जो उनकी cities होती हैं उनसे काफी दूर होते हैं. Fine, they are almost like rural areas, not really rural, but they are less developed, lesser developed than suburbs. So ये काफी distant होते हैं city से. So I hope you will remember suburb and exurb. See, when you know roots, remembering words becomes a very logical process, unlike before. Previously, it was all cramming. Now it's understanding, connecting, relating, right? That is the beauty of etymology. Interurban, inter and intra also we know the difference. Inter means between two groups or multiple things, right? Intra means within. Intra means within. So when I say intra-urban, it means within a city. When I say interurban, it means between two cities. So if I say there is an interurban bus, it means a bus that is commuting between two cities. When I say Intra-urban, intra-urban would say within a city if there is a bus. Fine, that takes you from different spots, takes you from one spot to the other within a city. Is this much clear? चलो ठीक है, wonderful. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Suburbia. Now suburbia बनता है suburb से ही, but the only difference is that जैसे suburb होता है ना, suburb is just about the place. Suburbia would collectively include the people also and their customs and their lifestyle overall. Fine, so I would say a wonderful book has been written on suburbia. Fine, so suburbia matlab collectively the people, the norms, the culture of suburbs. Is this much clear? Urban, urbane, everything? Right? Urbane, I told you, city like sophistication and refinement. So let's move over to the next. Aquo. What does aquo mean? Aquo refers to sharp. इसी से बना this word acute, which we keep on listening to and speaking also. Acute also means very sharp. So when I say acute pain, it means very sharp pain. Acute reasoning is also very sharp, laser sharp kind of reasoning. Okay, so acute means very sharp pain. When I say sharp pain, it means very intense pain, है ना? बहुत ही intense, बहुत ही तेज, बहुत intensity के साथ. Acupuncture comes from this. We know acupuncture, जहाँ पे आप needles specific points पे डाल डाल के एक alternate therapy होती है. It's a kind of an alternate therapy where we actually, prick some specific points in a person's body to relieve them of pain and of multiple diseases as well, right? Acupuncture. Acuity refers to the mental sharpness or keenness. Acumen. What is acumen? Again, acuity से मिलता जुलता. A sense of judgment. हम कहते हैं ना, you must have heard this collocation a lot. He has the business acumen. So when your mind is sharp enough and you have a good sense of judgment, you have good decision making, तो जब तुम्हारा ना judgment और तुम्हारी जो decision making होती है वो अच्छी होती है, that is actually your acumen. I hope you will remember these words. I think this was very easy. These were just a few of them. Let's proceed. We had done acupuncture, so it's time to do the root behind this word puncture. See, we like such a common word. We commonly keep on speaking about this now. Puncture, ये puncture हो गया, tire puncture हो गया, and stuff like that. What is to puncture? To prick holes, है ना? So you have to understand what actually punctus as a root mean. Fine. Punctus also means to, punctus actually means point. Point. Yes, point. So when you actually puncture something, you put a hole in that point, you prick that, right? So puncturing is, pricking holes. So just on the point, acupuncture, there are some points where you have to sharply, prick the needle. Fine. When you're punctual, you are just on the right time. एकदम on point होते हो आप. You are exact, you're on exact time. Punctual. When you're punctilious, very nice word. Not commonly known to students, right? What is punctilious? Punctilious is a person who is very, I would say, thorough, systematic, methodic, extremely methodic person जो एकदम point by point systematically काम करता है. So if you're punctilious, you are always working in a very sedulous and a very conscientious way. Fine, you are meticulous, as we say. एक भी पॉइंट मिस नहीं होता. You keep all the details in your mind and you take all the steps, step by step, point by point. You don't miss anything. You're that thorough. Okay. Pungent. Pungent, we all know what is pungent. Pungent has a very, anything which is pungent has a very sharp flavor or taste or aroma, something that just hits the point, right? A pungent smell of nitric acid or any of the acids in the chemistry lab, or the H2S smell, or any of those weird obnoxious gases, they were very pungent. They would just be, as if hitting a point in our nose, or maybe something that you keep on your taste buds and just hitting those points of your, the very pointed and sharp things, right? Hence the word pungent comes from punctus, right? Sometimes it might look a little strange, it might look a little useless also to understand the root words, but trust me, जब आप ये सब याद रखोगे तो punctilious भी याद हो जाएगा. Punctus याद होगा, point, acupuncture, puncture, तो punctilious भी याद हो जाएगा, वरना नहीं होगा. That's the way it works. I think एक हमारा पिछले स्लाइड पे कुछ छूट गया था. We had discussed the word intrepid, which meant fearless, है ना? Someone who is dauntless, who is undaunted. डरते नहीं है जो लोग, एकदम बिंदास होते हैं. तो ट्रेपिडो रूट से ये आया, एंड ट्रेपिडो एक्चुअली मीन्स फियर और ट्रेम्बलिंग. टू ट्रेम्बल इज टू शेक. डर में भी हम शेक करते हैं ना, कप कप आते हैं. फाइन. ट्रेपिडेशन ऑल्सो कम्स फ्रॉम दिस. सो इंट्रेपिड, इन मतलब नहीं, तो हु इज नॉट स्केर्ड, हु हैज नो फियर, राइट, इज इंट्रेपिड. व्हाट इज ट्रेपिडेशन? Trepidation is also trembling, shaking, and of course being very scared sometimes. You're shaking maybe because of like trepidations, हम वैसे earthquake के भी बोल सकते हैं, tremors के sense में भी बोल सकते हैं, but very often it is related to fear. Fine. So a lot of fear, nervousness, that is trepidation. Per. प का मतलब होता है थ्रू. ठीक है बच्चों? So perspicacious was the word that we had discussed, and it meant somebody who is very very sharp minded, who is astute, who has all the acuity. जिसमें acuity है, जो बहुत ही समझदार है, लेजर शार्प माइंड वाला है ना? So these are the people who can look through anything और एवरीथिंग. वो उनकी समझ, उनकी नजर, उनका विजन ऐसा होता है कि वो आर पार देख लेते हैं, है ना? उड़ती चिड़िया के पंख गिन लेते हैं. दीज काइंड ऑफ पीपल, सो दे कैन सी थ्रू एनी कॉम्प्लेक्स थिंग, दे कैन अंडरस्टैंड एनीथिंग. दे आर सच शार्प पीपल. पर्सपिकेशियस. पर्सपिकुअस एक अलग वर्ड है, इसको याद रखो. इट सिंपली मीन्स क्लियर. रिमेंबर द वर्ड लिम्पिड, है ना? मैंने अपने पिछले क्लास में आपको कराया था. सो इवन द वर्ड लिम्पिड, राइट, इट मीन्स पर्सपिकुअस. एंड क्लास, ये जो होता है ना पर्सपिकुअस, इसका मतलब होता है क्लियर. एंड टू बी प्रिसाइज, थ्रू से क्या कनेक्शन है? दैट you can look through it. It is so clear and transparent. Anything which is perspicuous, आर पार देख सकते हो. It is that clear and transparent, right? So this is very clear. Perspicacious means very sharp-minded. The words are clear. I hope their meaning is clear, and the connection with the root per, which means through, is also absolutely clear. Permeate was not given in the book. I have added it because it comes from this. Permeate is to pass through or to spread. Or to carry over in future, है ना? Permeate. Fine. So let these values permeate, pass through, आगे बढ़ें, spread करें. So per as a root is a very important one. You must know this. And finally we come to the exercise. That's all. So exercise to solve करना बनता है. Please pause the video. Fine. and you have to send your responses in the comment section. Class, you're not doing that. You have to do that. Kindly do this. Right? I'm stepping aside. Let's quickly do this. Chalo bhai, I hope you are done. Let's see. Suburbia. What is suburbia? Suburbia. Yes, I think areas near big cities, customs of people living there. So one is H. Animus. Animus was hostility. I hope you remember. सामने ही लिखा है. Wonderful. Equanimity is being very calm and composed, being equable. Fine, even tempered. Where is that? Composure. Trepidation is fear or shaking. Fear and trembling. E. Unanimous, you all agree. Congruent, when you're together, in full agreement. Yes, absolutely. I. Perspicacious, very sharp-minded or keen-minded. A. Perspicuous is when you're very clear. D. Delta. Circumspect, you're very wary and very careful, cautious. F. Punctilious, I hope आपसे बने ना ये सारे वर्ड्स एक एक वर्ड मैंने कराए with their roots. Punctilious क्या होता है? Do you even remember? Very methodic, very systematic, on point always. Meticulous. And prospect. Prospect is you. It's a forward look. You're checking. You're looking forward. It's C. And there we are. Right? See how you learned all these words, and yes, you'll be able to remember them, I'm very sure, because the root words is a wonderful and a fabulous approach for it. And that's all for today, class. I will get back to you with my next session very soon. So stay tuned, keep watching all our sessions, even the previous ones. And if you like them, like, share, and subscribe. Itna to banta hi hai. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Signing off.